crafters, and welcome to Creative Moments by G. I'm Georgia, and we are so happy to see everyone here today. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to look down real quick. We have Phyllis and Stella, Catherine, Linda, Patricia, Diane, just chatting away over there with Maudie. Now, I want to remind you, my sister and I go on this crafting journey together. And so Maudie is over in the chat room. She's there to answer your questions, just chat with you and have a good time. We're very excited about our card today. We're actually going to be doing some rainbow blending and a silhouette stamp. So we saw that. We were just kind of hanging around Pinterest and some different websites, and we saw some silhouette stamping, and we just fell in love with it. This is such an easy card. You don't need dies. You don't need extra materials and supplies. You just need some ink, which we all have ink. You do need a blending brush, and then you just need to select a stamp that is solid. Now, you could, if you wanted to, use a border, right? You could use a border, you could color it in, but that defeats the whole purpose in our mind. So we're going to go ahead and just use stamps that we've selected that we feel just really pop this card once you do that blending. Now, I want to remind everyone, we love to hear your chats, and also it's Surprise Patrol. Yes, we look at the likes, the chats, the comments, the shares, and we randomly select 2 people for the month of July. So we're going to select one right after the first card, and we'll select another one. But, last week we weren't able to be live, but we did go ahead and select people, and we posted those names. Well, we haven't heard from 3 of them, so I want to go ahead and list those people so that you can send me your mailing address so that we can get these gratitude gifts sent to you, because we just appreciate you sharing your time with us so much. So last week's winners were Deborah Foster, Cynthia Pitts, and Debbie West. Linda Ziegler also was selected, but we already sent her gratitude gift. So please take just a sec and fill out that contact form over on creativemomentsbyg.com. Now remember, at the end of this, give me about an hour, and we'll have all the measurements over there on the blog. So you don't have to worry about writing it down. Just kind of enjoy yourself today. Oh, you love my necklace. Yay! Well, we are all about sunflowers, and hopefully you signed up for the newsletter because it was all about sunflowers, and we talked about why do we like sunflowers. We like them because they're cheery and bright, and they spread seeds of joy, and that's what we like to do. So we do love sunflowers. And I actually think that this is a real one that was dipped, I don't know, in rosin or whatever they do. But I love this. I've had it a long, long time. So you know what? I say, let's head down to the crafting table and let's get started. Now, I'm going to show you a card. Here is a card that we have done the rainbow blending. And then we stamped. Now on this one, I'm going to show you this so you can see what happens when you don't use the Stamparatus. Any kind of stamping tool that you have, you really do need to do that on a silhouette card because you want this as dark as possible. Now we like this, but you'll see how different it looks when you use that stamping tool. So the first thing we need to do, now this card is so cool. Now, remember the other day I told you I have a little tray that I use to get all my supplies and keep me organized. So on this first card, let me get the ink that we're going to use. We are going to use, I love these colors, Bermuda Bay, Crushed Curry, and Flirty Flamingo. So we're going to use those. We have our blending tool right here. We have our brush. Let's go ahead and get started. Now we cut our mats. We're going to have 2 mats on the front. We have our basic mat, which is simply 3.75 by 5, and then we have a smaller mat, and that's simply 3.5 by 4 3/4. So what we need to do first is we need to get out our Post-it note removable labeling tape. Have you used this? Because it is wonderful. And this is going to allow us to do the blending that we want to do in the way that we want to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and just line this up using this grid paper because I want to get it as straight as possible. Now let's make sure we get that back where it needs to be. And I can see that's off just a little bit. Now, maybe some of you are good at, eyeballing it. I'm not so much. So I'm going to go ahead and take off another piece, and I'm going to lay it down right there. Okay, now all I have to do is lift this up and bring in our white piece of paper. And we are simply going to tape that down just on our white piece of paper. Now, I think the first color we're going to blend will be the Bermuda Bay, and then I'm going to separate it by that crushed curry. So let's go ahead and just get that on our blending tool. And I'm going to start fairly heavy right here against the line, and then I'm going to lighten up. And you know what? I think I need to make this a little bigger because I do not think that's big enough. So I'm going to put that back up, and I need a bigger space. So let's go ahead and line that up right there. And I think that'll do it. It's not quite even, so it's really important. And don't you love this tape? You can just stick it down, pick it up. I love it. Have you used this before? Oh my goodness, so wonderful. So I'm going to go ahead and get that. Let's see if that's right. Okay, I feel better about that now. Get that down on our paper. It sticks to our paper, and we're going to bring in that Bermuda Bay. And we're just going to start moving it over the paper. Just get it in there. And I tell you, this blending brush, I don't know if you use this or not, but it really does a good job. Okay. So I need a little bit more here. Just blend it down. And now you do get your fingers a little inky, but that's okay. Now we're going to bring in the yellow. Just switch it off because it has Velcro on it, so we really like that. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in the pink, and I'm going to do that at the bottom. And just really get that inked up. See, we're getting it inked up. And now I'm going to go over this right here. And it's very easy. So long as you have a good blending tool, you don't have to worry about it. It's really just blends so nicely. Okay. Okay, I'm going to take that off. Now, this is always a good opportunity to make sure that you have your little wipies, right, close by. So I'm going to close that. And I'm going to bring in my crushed curry. Oh, this makes a beautiful card. Okay, so I'm going to ink that up really well. It's starting to get there, but not enough yet. So I'm just going to let it saturate that ink pad. There we go. And now we're just going to come over the middle. Oh, look at those colors. Oh my goodness. And you know what makes it really blend is to overlap them. So go ahead, make sure that you overlap them just a little bit, and it really softens that line. Oh, and there you have it. So pretty. So now I'm just going to move those up here, and I'm going to simply take off the tape. Now what's great about this is you can reuse this, so don't throw it away. just put it to the side. And oh, look how beautiful that is. Love that. Look at that. Okay, now, remember I said use that Stamparatus or use any kind of stamping tool that you have, because this is a critical part. You'll want to make sure that you have it nice and black. So we're going to go ahead and put it right in the corner. And we're going to get our magnets down at the bottom. And we're bringing in, the first thing we're going to stamp is our sentiment, because we want to make sure we have enough room for the sentiment. So get that lined up right on the edge. Right on the edge and right in the center. There we have it. And let me show you another trick. If you don't know about this one, instead of letting this plastic cover go down where you might really hurt your binding right there, go ahead and put something under it. You can put ink, you could put your pad that you clean your stamps with, anything like that, so that it doesn't fall. That's really a good idea. And now we're just going to bring in our memento, and we're going to start stamping. Now you might have to stamp a couple times, but that's okay. That's why you're using the tool, right? So I'm going to just use my little tool. Lift it up. Okay, we're going to ink it again. Tap, tap, tap. Just really tap it. Go down again. Kind of use my tool to go over it. Oh, see how dark it's getting? And we're going to do it one more time. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Okay. And we're simply going over it so that it can transfer from the stamp to the card. Look how pretty that is. Now, we're going to have to move it over just a little bit to do the next stamping. So we're really going to make sure it's up against there. We're going to put that right there, and I'm going to put another right here so it really holds it well. I'm going to move this over. And now we're going to bring in our other stamp. And this is a perfect stamp for a silhouette. You see how much black it has? It doesn't have an outline. So it has a lot of black in it. So this is absolutely perfect for silhouette stamping. So we're going to go ahead and just... I need to get another piece of paper right there because we will go over just a little bit and you don't want to stamp your pad. So let's go ahead and get that. Line this up and notice how I'm going over the area that we blend. See if I come back up. It says we're recording, but I don't know if we are. Am I on? Yes, yes. Okay. So tell me, are you sure? Tell me when you can. They're saying yay. Okay, we're back on. Okay. So we are going to start inking this right here. Probably have to ink it 3 times. Let's just try it. Push it down, and you don't have to push real hard because you don't want that halo effect, right? But we're just going to let the ink transfer, lift